everyone is still conditioned. So everybody put your pens and paper to the side. Stand up. Woo! Hey, that's empowering. That's energy right there. That is energy right there. That's exciting. But anyways, a little bit about myself and a little bit about, why I am here today. And it was about making a decision and taking full responsibility over everything that happened in my business. If you guys looked at my 2 first months, I only made $20. And you kind of saw a shift in my lifestyle, a shift in what I did. And I'll kind of explain that to you. But anyways, my name is Bryce Majdick. I was going to San Diego State University for about 3 years with a kinesiology major, no history in marketing at all. And I got approached to do this about 14 months ago, decided to go hear it out. And for the first time in my life, I met people my age that were where I wanted to be. I was in a fraternity. Most of my friends are living for the weekends, living from paycheck to paycheck. I've always wanted something different. I always wanted to have an impact in the world. I've always wanted to own my own businesses, just never really saw the right vehicle. So just like anybody else in this room, I went back and talked to my dad. I'm fortunate enough and blessed to be raised in a very successful family. My dad's a multimillionaire, but he actually told me that his 2 most successful friends, his 2 most wealthy friends, were actually in network marketing. Figures, right? One has a private jet plane, has Lamborghinis and Ferraris. So my point is that I saw that it was tangible. I really saw what this business can do for you, and that was exciting to me, and that's why I decided to take all-out massive action. But anyways, coming into the business, I was kind of giving people to my upline, just like anybody else. I was kind of using Brad, Luke Wilborn, and kind of letting them do the work for me. And honestly, I wasn't getting anywhere. It was only until, that I sat down with myself and I went back home and I didn't have any upline that I took full responsibility over my business and what was about to happen. And from that day on, over the next 20 days, we added 120 people. And yeah, I was scared. I mean, for my first speech, it was in front of 12 people, and I really had no idea what I was talking about. But understand, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I had the vision. I was like, we're going to put 6 BMWs in my hometown. I shared that vision with a lot of people. And vision backed by desire, they talk about it up here, is a very powerful concept. Because if people believe you, they'll go out and do it. One even person went as far to say that Brad Alcazan manipulated a bunch of young people into thinking that they could go and make a lot of money, and then it actually worked. And that's kind of cool, man. So leave here today, understand that we can do all this for you. We can give you the workout plan, but we cannot work out for you. It is your decision. You have to make the decision to get in the gym and go do it. A lot of people buy gym memberships. Doesn't mean everybody gets in shape. It's the same exact thing here. It's the application of this knowledge that will get to where you want to be, okay? Because the best form of education, and Proctor says this all the time, it comes from experience, yes or yes? So how many no's you get, how many times you fail takes it to succeed. Thomas Edison got asked by a newspaper reporter, how did it feel to fail 2,000 times? Thomas Edison replied by this: I did not fail 2,000 times. It took 2,000 steps for me to become successful, to invent the light bulb. So you got to look at it from that philosophy. You look at it from Robert Kiyosaki's philosophy, Darren Hardy. I'm sure they've expressed to you multiple times how much they failed. But it's how you deal with the ups and downs that will determine your outcome in this business. So the first thing, I wrote down a couple notes. The first thing you got to do is you can't just get your feet wet in this business. You got to go all out. Like I was doing this like maybe 2-3 times a week, 4 times a week. That's not the way it works, man. You got to go all out, take all out massive action. It's like riding a bicycle. The faster you ride it, the easier it is to stay on track. Does that make sense? So the first thing that I want you guys to do is kind of envision yourself buying that new car. Envision yourself in that new house. Envision yourself looking down at your app and there being 1,000 cycles on it. Because if you match the reality with the frequency that you want, there is no other way it will become. It was preconceived. Me and Patrick Comer were sitting down at my table. You guys know Patrick Comer. Shout out to Patrick. My man. I would not be here today if it wasn't for him, but we were sitting down at my table. I was a member, and he was a silver leader, and he had made $200 a week. And we're like, I cannot wait to see my friends' faces when we're making $2,000 a week. Who's going to say no? We already knew it was going to happen. It was preconceived. It was going to happen no matter what. Because why? Because we're the X factors in this business. If anything is going wrong in your business, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what can you do better? Because it's no one else's responsibility yourself. It's no one else's responsibility to go out there to do the calls for you, to plug in people into the meetings, to go out there and personally enroll. You have to take full responsibility. You have to take ownership. You have to take what is rightfully yours. And that's the big thing here, is that a lot of people get involved in the business and they rely on too many people. And we're not saying don't leverage upline, don't edify upline, don't utilize your mentorship, but you got to take the full responsibility yourself. Ask yourself, if you had 100 of you in your business, would you feel comfortable? If the person looking back at you, you're not comfortable about, it's okay. Why? Because you can always grow as a person. And that's the entire thing here, is that the business here is 80% self-development, 20% Vemma. Something that, I know Darren Hardy's going to like this, self-development. Jim Rohn said this: success is not something you pursue. What you pursue will elude you. Success is something that you attract by becoming an attractive person. Education is the key. And Bob Proctor right here, education comes from the Latin root word educo, which means to derive from within and doing. And that's just all you got to go do. You got to listen to the, you got to listen to the audios, you got to read the books, and you just got to do it and do it and do it. And you're going to learn through so much experience. You're going to learn how to master everything yourself. And that's the big thing here, is that, I've had mentorship, but I got to get uncomfortable. The reason why most of you guys haven't gotten to where you want to be is because you've never gotten uncomfortable. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. My mentor, Brad Alkazen, said, you got to always be treading water, because once you're comfortable, you will plateau in your business. So that's the entire thing here. Get uncomfortable with your speech. Always be growing as a person. Never stop, growing intellectually. Never stop doing more, because the more you do, the better you get, the more the business will reciprocate. So leading by example, you cannot teach what you do not know, and you cannot lead where you will not go. So you have to attain the knowledge. You got to go be a leader, speed of the team. Dude, you got to travel. You can't expect your team to do more than what you're not doing. And understand that people are loyal to people, not to products. Okay? People quit on themselves all the time, whether it be sports, music, school. People quit on themselves all the time. They're okay with that. But they will not quit on you. If you build a relationship with people, Amway built their business to $11.4 billion last year with the motto, you build the people will build the business. So it's the same thing goes. If you put enough effort into them, they will not quit on you. So that's the entire thing here. Who here is registered for the Next Level Leadership Weekend? Leading by example. I should see the entire front row over here. And that's what the entire thing is about. You guys got to lead by example over here. So you got to create habits as well. It's funny because I've always been, reading their books and listening to Darren Hardy's audios on the compound effect, and it's exciting to be speaking with them, but it's about the little changes that you make throughout your daily life. I had to put the partying to the side. I was partying 5-6 days a week. I was in a fraternity, That's what we do. That's what everybody else did, and unfortunately got what everybody else had, which isn't a whole lot. 3% of the country controls 97% of all the money. You do what everybody else does, you get what everybody else has. So it was about the little changes in my daily routine, sleeping less, going to the gym every single morning, and stop doing the stuff that didn't matter. And I think that's a big thing here. You ask any of the top leaders, we took, months off for sobriety. We didn't even drink at all, 6 months, 12 months, a year. And that's really why we got to where we are, because we put our head down and worked it, man. So look at it this way, you guys. Look at failure with a positive philosophy. You have never failed. You've just found ways that didn't work. Michael Jordan, Thomas Edison, same thing. Michael Jordan said, I failed over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed. And lastly, you guys, I'll leave you with this. I got some extra time, but whatever. You have instincts. You have instincts. We are born with instincts. We are born in intuition. Deep down inside, you have the answer to every question. I think we astray from this a lot. Everybody asks me, what should I do in this situation? What should I do in this situation? But understand, you know the answer yourself. It's kind of like our pets. We feed them and give them water every single day. But if we put them back out to the wild, they die. In this day and age, we are given a whole lot of information. We're given to us. You can find anything online. You can find it in Success Magazine. But understand that the right answer to every situation is within yourself. Vemma has no enemies. The only enemy is the inner me. So take all massive action tonight. This does not matter at all if you don't go out there and do it. This does not matter at all if you don't go out there and do it. So take whatever this applied information and go out there and do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. So thank you guys for listening. I appreciate your time.